I think it's the single biggest threat to our national security, to our viability as a country, to our political project, to our democracy. Unemployment is going to be a massive threat, and the growing unemployment rate. So if you center that metric and you say the metric for success is seeing job growth, what does that require us to do? What it requires us to do is have a certain type of development, of course. It requires you to focus on labor-intensive industries. It requires you to focus perhaps even on export-driven growth. It requires you to focus on spatial inclusion and how you bring job opportunities closer to where the workforce is so that you can reduce the cost of that employment. It forces policies to center around a very specific single objective. The objective of 30 years ago was we want to see more black faces in the room. Have we done that? Of course. Tick, we've done that.
Yeah.
But I believe that the objective of the next 30 years needs to be how do we become a thriving, prosperous economy? And the foundational base of that is to say we have to be driven by industry, innovation, technology if we want to create jobs at the scale and level that we need to. We have to look at some of this, call it structural exclusion issues, you know. Why do we have so many people who are still unbanked? What impacts the ability for people to access credit? It is a proven fact that access to credit is one of the biggest catalytic, one of the biggest catalyzers of economic development.
Yeah.
Increasing the ability for people to access credit in an economy. And then we need to look at also just the region. You know,